I am Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland
Neverland
Navigation
Navigation
Radio.
Radio, where today we are taking a trek through Walt Disney World's fourth theme park, Animal Kingdom, to decide what experiences, dining options, and exploration opportunities are must-do magic. This is the final of our four-part series on each of the theme parks here at Walt Disney World.
Unless we go out of the park.
Sure. Oh, yeah, sure.
It's possible. You
Would
never
you
know.
like to see an extension of the series where we do must do magic at Disney Springs or at the resorts? That would be fun, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. But today we're wrapping up the theme parks with everyone's favorite animal themed park, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Before we dive into the list here, which is full of exciting stuff like thrill attractions and unique dining experiences, we would love to remind everyone to like the video if you're watching on the visual version of the podcast over on the Neverland Navigation YouTube channel, or and subscribe to the channel over there, or to subscribe to the show on the audio listening platform that you're listening on, and maybe leave us a review if you've enjoyed the episode.
Absolutely. And if you're planning a vacation of any kind, if you want to send me an email at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com. I'm a travel advisor, and for letting me help you book, you get free t-shirts.
Free t-shirts?
Yeah, as a thank you. And I will get you the same price as you would have spent anyway. So it's just a win-win.
Win-win situation when you work with a travel agent, especially one with as much planning expertise as one Morgan Jones. Speaking of Morgan Jones, Morgan, I'm very excited to have you as my companion in this episode because, well, and also in every other episode of the podcast, but specifically here because we've had a lot of fun Animal Kingdom adventures together, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah. I would say it's the park we probably venture into the least.
Sure.
But it makes the unique experiences all the more special, huh?
Yeah. I mean, but least for us is still a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. We usually have a really good go of it, and we're not going to be able to say it at any point during this episode, so I guess we should put in now the mandatory, if you're having an Animal Kingdom day, you might want to consider having breakfast at Boma.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because there's not a question of what restaurant do you recommend outside of this park?
Oh, yeah. This is like our favorite satellite experience for Animal Kingdom. Is starting your day with like a nice breakfast buffet over at the Animal Kingdom Lodge Resort right across the street from the park, and going to their buffet restaurant, Boma.
Yes, and Boma, we did a review of it. That's up on our YouTube page if you want to see it. It's so good. It's not crazy expensive like the other buffets because there's not characters.
Right.
And it's a little bit different than your standard breakfast stuff because there's some African-inspired stuff. Yeah, you get your pog juice, you get your coffee, and then you have to go to Animal Kingdom. We've never gone and not gone to Animal Kingdom right after, right? It's right next door.
Yeah, it's so close that it really makes it an enjoyable little experience. And then you can also start your day right off with a little bit of the safari vibes of getting to visit that resort and maybe pass by some animals if you do a little walking.
Yeah, great themed breakfast for your Animal Kingdom day.
Yeah, because that resort has its own little Serengeti plane within it, which is different from the Animal Kingdom safari. So you know, it's cool to get to see it all.
I would love to go there for breakfast every time before I go to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, it's the perfect way to start an Animal Kingdom day.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Something a lot of people do, though, when they first get into the park is take a picture. And there are lots of good places to take pictures in the Animal Kingdom. And the first, I would say, is when you kind of first walk in and you see that Tree of Life after you walk through the Oasis trails. Is that what you had for your must-do photo spot?
No, not this time. I have picked the icon for sure at Epcot and Magic Kingdom. I don't think I didn't pick the Tower of Terror for Hollywood Studios, which is what they say is their icon.
Mhm.
But anyway, I did not pick Tree of Life, even though that is Animal Kingdom's icon. Is that what you picked?
I did. I picked, well, specifically the Discovery Island trails.
Oh, cool.
Which are the little trails around the Tree of Life. And if you wander them, then you do end up with some really awesome views of the Tree of Life that could be like a good background for your family photo.
Yeah.
Without being right in the, in the horde of people trying to enter and leave the park in like a very on theme stampede type of way. You're instead like kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
And you can, have your own little special, and you get to see different angles of it.
This might be the same. I don't think it's not the same, but it might be a similar photo location to what you're talking about. But there is one that I saw the other day that I did want to mention that is for the Tree of Life, and that is if you go to the little cart where you can get the Mr. Kamal's fries, seasoned fries, which is kind of one of the most famous snacks at Epcot. The seating area there, has a gorgeous view of the Tree of Life and the like river back there, and there wouldn't be anybody behind you.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, if I were to take a picture like that, that would be a really good one.
Yeah, that sounds great. There are lots of good little, as you're walking around Animal Kingdom, you come across these views across the water of some stuff that's really cool. There's views like that for Expedition Everest, like Mountain, and also for the Tree of Life. If you do end up on the Discovery Island trails, you can also see some animals while you're over there, which is fun, like clawed otters, flamingos, storks, kangaroos, vultures, cranes, lemurs, porcupines, and macaws.
I would say the worst place to take a picture is like right when you walk in, that front that everybody gets. That's probably the worst. Wouldn't you say?
Of the Tree of Life?
Yes.
Oh, just because it has all the people in there? Unless you can somehow magically time it with the exact second that they release all those birds in that show they do periodically, that would be a cool picture.
Yeah.
But for 99.9% of people, I think I would more recommend something along the Discovery Island trails than like that big crowd of people right in the beginning of the park.
Yeah, my photo spot choice is in front of Everest, or with Everest in the background, I should say, not in front of Everest.
Yeah.
I think especially at night, over by Yak and Yeti's restaurant, there are, like you were saying, some areas where there's like a fence and then water and then Everest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And the string lights and the way that they light up Expedition Everest, amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my choice.
That's a really good one. I also like the Everest photo opportunity on the bridge from Dinoland USA into Asia.
Okay.
It's like a turquoise looking kind of bridge. And there's a PhotoPass photographer there, and you can take a picture in front of Everest there, and they tell you to look like you're cold, and they add snow into the picture, which is fun.
Yeah.
But even if you're not taking a PhotoPass photo, I think that's a nice like angle to have in the background.
Yeah, I like that a lot of the Animal Kingdom things that you would take a photo with, you can get from multiple angles.
Yeah,
and they're kind of the same.
Yes,
that's you know nice. What I mean?
Yeah, like Spaceship Earth is always going to look like Spaceship Earth,
right?
Same idea.
Yes, but the castle, I mean, a lot of people want the front and center of the castle.
Right, the front looks different from the back and the sides.
Yeah,
very true.
Yeah.
Okay, all this photography has got me absolutely starving, so it's time to use a snack credit on the Disney dining plan and figure it out. I started this one with the buffalo chicken nachos over at Trilobites, which is a kiosk on the way from Discovery Island to Dinoland USA on the right side of the path if you're looking at Dinoland USA. And this is one of my favorite snacks in all of the Animal Kingdom. I've gotten it multiple times. For some reason, every time I get this, it's raining. So sometimes my tortillas get like a raindrop, get a little soggy.
But a little extra rain flavor.
A little extra acidity from the Florida rain. But we do like this snack quite a bit. Every time I've tried it, I've liked it.
I just tried it for the first time this past week. Yeah.
How did you like it?
I liked it.
It was pretty good, right?
Yeah. I mean, buffalo sauce really can enhance the flavor of anything.
Totally agree.
To me, we got ours. So it wasn't raining when I got it.
Oh, I wonder if it was as good as it normally is with the extra rain flavor.
But it was like it was like one of those days where it's 92 but feels like 130. So we got it
Florida.
and then started walking to try to find some blessed place with air conditioning because this is a kiosk, right?
Yes.
So we wound up going back into Dino Land, like across from Dinosaur, and eating at
Restaurantosaurus.
yes,
Yeah,
Restaurantosaurus.
that's pretty much what I always do as well.
Yeah, which
So,
is a cool big dining room with very, very nice air conditioning.
yes, it is definitely cool in there.
Yeah, and you can ask them and they will give you free ice water, which is also super helpful when it feels like 130.
Yes. I also like the storyline here that this is like the mess hall for the research students.
Oh, fun.
I think is the theme going on in there, which is pretty cool. And they've got like
Love a backstory.
games on the roof and stuff that the college kids like play, and that's
Okay.
like part of the scenic decoration.
Now I have to go back.
Yeah, some of the detail that will be erased when they make over Dino Land soon.
Right.
So go see it while you can.
The snacks in that restaurant quick serve
Mhm.
were pretty boring, basic, bland, right?
Restaurantosaurus?
Yes.
Yes, that's a former McDonald's location, and now it just sells like regular quick serve.
Like, yeah,
Stuff.
hot dog, hamburger, chicken fingers. So we weren't gonna order food there.
No.
Yeah.
But take your buffalo chicken nachos in there. Enjoy the
Yeah.
ambiance.
Yeah, and
Get
there
a cup
was
of ice water.
there was something, that one's called Trilo Bites, right? And there's another one, right?
Yeah, that one's Trilo Bites.
And then there's another one on the way to get back there called Dino Bites, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. And they have something that I didn't get, but I'm gonna get next time.
What is it?
It's a ice cream cookie sandwich
Ooh.
that is
Sounds
handmade.
like it's gonna melt all over me.
Yeah, but you're right there by that
Restaurantosaurus.
yeah, right. So you can at least get it into some air conditioning.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What
did you have for your snack?
For my snack, okay. So this wouldn't count as a snack credit. So if you're on the Disney dining plan, then I'm taking you off course
Get
here.
lost. No, just kidding.
Because they have this down as an entree, but if you get it and split it like 2, 3, 4 ways, which is what we did when I tried it.
A good way to do a snack.
Yeah, then it was lovely. It was a lovely snack. And I'm talking about at Flame Tree Barbecue, the baked macaroni and cheese with pulled pork.
Oh, I think this is actually what I put as my snack, right? This is actually what I think I put as my snack when we did
yeah.
As my quick serve when we did like a quick serve roundup or something.
Yeah, something.
Because this is really, really good. Tell the people what it is.
Yes, I am. So let me get to the description. I think I'm right around it. Gosh, how funny. Oh, I mean gluten free. That's why. That's what happened. It's not.
There's
gluten-free.
definitely stuff in that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's baked macaroni and cheese topped with smoky pulled pork, crispy onions, and coleslaw. So the crispy onions and the coleslaw give it like a little bit of sweetness that really, really makes it lovely. And you can ask for extra barbecue sauce, which I did. And on its own, I feel like this would be a pretty heavy meal for walking around Animal Kingdom feeling like 130 degrees, but split snack wise, this was absolutely amazing.
Couple bites.
Really hit the spot. The sweetness paired with the like saltiness of the pork and the mac and cheese. It was just really, really phenomenal.
Ooh.
We also tried the flamingo cupcake while we were there, which is like right up my alley, but wildly sweet.
Yeah, that's my problem with most of those specialty cupcakes is that they're all sugar.
But you will love the way this one looks. It is like a really pretty flamingo, and the inside of the cupcake is strawberry, and it's like bright pink. Very good.
I love flamingos. I have paintings of flamingos in my house, so I would probably definitely want to take an Instagram picture of that for sure.
Yeah. And this doesn't have indoor seating, unfortunately, but the way that it's set up with the different like seating areas that you can go to somehow catches a little bit of breeze. I think because of there are trees above you, and then there's some places are covered, so it's not bad. You're not sitting in the sun.
Yeah, shade always helps a little bit.
And the view is beautiful.
Yeah. Or, if you're really feeling like walking, there's always Restaurantosaurus.
That's a bit of a hike.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I guess it's about the same now that you mention it. It's not too much further.
Not too far off. You're kind of right over there in that area by the bridge. All right. I'm not satiated by our snack. I need a quick serve meal. Morgan, I'm going to let you go first this time. What is your quick service must-do recommendation for Animal Kingdom?
I would actually think we probably put the same thing, but I know you've been doing backups. So
Mhm.
mine is Satuli Canteen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Satuli for a quick serve. It's indoors, amazing AC, but the
Yes.
food is also really good. It's not like your standard hot dog, hamburger, chicken fingers. And I love barbecue, but this is less heavy,
Hmm.
especially if you get a bowl. That's what most of it is. It's like a bowl, kind of like you'd get at like Chipotle or whatever, that has rice and beans maybe, and your protein and a sauce. And
Hmm.
I think the flavors are really good. I like the ambiance. I like the backstory of that restaurant.
Yeah.
And I guess you can get cheeseburger pods, which Jake has gotten. I haven't tried this yet.
Hmm.
Um, those are good, right?
Yeah, I like them. They're not like the most exciting thing in the world, but texturally, I love like a bao
I
bun.
bet kids
And
love them
yeah, this
because it's
is
like a cheeseburger different.
yeah, it is like that.
It's like a bao bun, but what?
It's like a bao bun, like the texture of the like wrapping
Yeah,
thing
that makes
it's in is
sense.
kind of like a bao bun, but then on the inside it's like cheese and ground beef. Morgan is probably not gonna love this because she doesn't love like ground beef as a flavor.
That's
This
why I
is
haven't
pretty
ordered it.
ground beef forward,
Hmm.
but texturally it like works well for me. Now, honestly, most of the time if I'm going to Satuli Canteen, despite the fact that I do enjoy the hamburger pod things, I probably will mostly get a bowl. That's
Yeah,
what I usually get because I just that's not an offering that you normally encounter at theme parks,
I know.
so it's kind of like cool and a nice like satisfying meal.
Yeah, yeah. I really enjoy it. I'm really glad they added something like that that gave you a different option from your standard stuff. Um, that feels a little bit healthier, feels more flavorful. I mean, it is more flavorful.
Hmm.
And then I just can't get enough of that location. It's great.
Yeah, and they have vegetarian and vegan options as well, which is nice for the
So,
bowls.
so what did you put?
I also had Satuli Canteen for my number one, but my number two is actually something we've already talked about, which is Flame Tree Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy the food there. It's not like the most innovative menu in the world or anything, but it's dependable and it's a little bit more flavorful than I think like a Restaurantosaurus type of
Oh yeah.
hamburger,
Oh
hot
yeah.
dog,
Yeah,
chicken
yeah.
tender type of menu. So they're my old kind of my like old reliable in Animal Kingdom.
And if nothing has changed since last time they did dining plan, the Flame Tree is actually your best value of a quick serve
Yes.
with their meals being up to like $20 if
Yeah.
you want like the combo meal, and it only costing you one quick service credit.
Yeah, that is really nice. And
Yeah,
that's right in Discovery Island.
good
And
location.
yeah, it is a good location. And then Satuli Canteen is in the back of Pandora, the World of Avatar, by the exit of Flight of Passage.
Yeah,
It's also air conditioned in there, isn't it?
it in Satuli Canteen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
hmm
nice.
yeah.
Love that.
That's what I that's what I was saying earlier is that the air conditioning plus the backstory of the theming of the dining space, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
We're gonna have the same thing for our table service restaurant.
Yeah, we are.
There's
There's
one
one,
option.
in our opinion, a clear winner. If you want to go back to our ranking of Animal Kingdom table service restaurants, you can find out exactly why. But we're happy to sing the praises of
Yak
Yak
and
and
Yeti.
Yeti. Morgan, where is Yak and Yeti, and what's it all about?
Well, Yak and Yeti is back. So at the absolute opposite end of the park from the entrance, and it is
Mhm.
in Asia.
Yes.
It is really really good pan Asian food,
Hmm.
right? I'll sing the praises of the food for a little bit, and then if you want to talk at all about the ambiance, feel free.
Sure.
The ahi nachos are the absolute best thing ever. If you're not into that, a lot of their small plates, I think I've tried all of the small plates and appetizers and have just been like blown away by the flavor and the just amazing combinations of flavors, the sauces they use. It's all so good.
Yes, we love to get those ahi tuna nachos. They are so delicious.
Yeah.
And we also tried a couple different things from the menu last time we went, and we really thought everything was pretty good. So
Yeah.
hard to go wrong here.
Right.
Something I really enjoy about the restaurant is the theming, which is it's like a restaurant in the lobby, of a hotel, and the hotel is the project of a hotelier who loves his wife, and so the decor is a tribute to all of the culture that they've enjoyed together, like movie posters and song lyrics, and there are love notes to her in the restaurant. And it's kind of themed to be like a welcoming place to all of the travelers in the area to come like enjoy a meal at their hotel, which is a very fun story. It's also a multi-level space, so where you sit on the bottom floor, on the top floor, changes what you're looking at and
Yeah.
how you're experiencing your dining, which is very fun. Disney says that it's an exciting Pan-Asian cuisine at a quaint village home that's been transformed into a restaurant. So it's like a B&B type of situation with a restaurant inside. It's at the base of Yak and Yeti, and it's decorated with the proprietor's collection of Southeast Asian artifacts, an eclectic eatery that offers menus of sweet and sour chicken, ahi tuna nachos, pot stickers, and Kobe beef burgers.
Mm.
And even more than that. What we really enjoy here, honestly, we love a bunch of the appetizers. Nothing tops the ahi tuna nachos. Though.
Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you this story, if you don't mind, real quick about like. So one time we got sat on the upper floor,
Mm.
and it was a window seat, and I was like, "Oh, amazing! We're gonna have this view, and it's gonna be awesome."
Yeah.
And you're looking out, and the like thing that you catches your eyes. There's like a tree right there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a cast member that is a photo pass
Yeah,
member.
I've taken a picture there. There's like shreds of fabric tied
Yes,
into the branches.
very cute.
Yes.
But unfortunately, this tree is like begging to be climbed, I guess, because everybody that passes it wants to climb it.
Really?
And so this poor PhotoPass member or cast member's whole job was basically every 30 seconds telling somebody that they weren't allowed to climb the tree.
Oh no.
I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, that is tough. No
You
climbing the
think your
trees.
job is taking pictures of people on their magical vacation.
I know, right? Climb the mountain in spirit over at Mount Everest
Yeah.
by riding Expedition Everest. Yeah, no climbing the Mexico Pavilion, no climbing the tree with
Basically,
the fabric
no
tied
climbing.
to it. Yeah, no climbing unless they say so. We get to skip the next question. We have done for the previous 3 parks what our favorite spectacular or fireworks show is. And at some parks there are only one. At Hollywood Studios there are multiple different options. Yet at this park there is no nighttime entertainment whatsoever.
Right. They don't do fireworks because of the animals, which we
Mhm.
completely understand. They used to do a light show in the river,
Mhm.
Rivers of Light, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Okay. And that was pretty awesome. I mean, it got some hate, but everything does. And yeah, they stopped it. Was it COVID?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, it hasn't been around for a while, and we're kind of like hoping that some night entertainment comes back at some point,
Yeah, that would
and they
be
start
great.
opening up later. That
Just
would be
more
nice.
just more Animal Kingdom at night in general would be nice.
Yes, because the ambiance around there with the lights and everything is really, really nice at night.
Yeah, it really is. I
Yeah,
like
wish
Animal
I
Kingdom a lot.
ever got to experience it anymore.
Yes. Me too.
They're closing at 7 most nights, and it's not dark here at 7.
No, I like it better. I like this park a lot better at night because you don't have to deal with the sun, you don't have to deal with the heat most of the time, and you don't have to deal with the rain because it's done raining at night most of the time in Florida.
Most of the time.
So yeah, it's really nice. And like you said, all the lighting is really cool at night.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps me enjoy the park more, but you hardly ever get that chance anymore.
Right. We have to go in the winter for that. So
Right.
I will be going in the winter, but I wish there was an option all year.
Me
Yeah.
too.
All right.
All right. Next up on our list, do you recommend any parade or street entertainment over at the Animal Kingdom?
I do. You want me to go for mine?
Sure.
I doubt we have the same thing, but there's a lot, you know?
Yeah, we do have some options here.
Yeah. I really like the Donald's Dino Bash dance party in Dino Land. They'll bring in other characters like Chippendale, and they'll be like in cute costumes and dancing, and kids will be dancing with them, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, in general, dance parties aren't really necessarily my thing. I'm not usually excited to see them, but I do like this one because I like their costumes and I feel like it really fits in with the vibe of the land.
Yeah, and it's just kind of happening right there when you're walking, like you
Yeah.
exit Dinosaur and go through that secondary gift shop, and then like
Mhm.
it's just happening, and I like that it's just happening.
Yeah.
You know,
And
they've
you
got
can
music that you know going.
yes, it
Yeah.
is fun like pop music. But you also see like Donald Duck's family members, and I love seeing them. Like over there, I've seen Launchpad
Yeah.
and Scrooge McDuck, and
Oh,
like
I've only seen Launchpad, but not there, not at the dance party.
oh no,
Have you
not at
seen him
the
at the dance party?
no, not at the dance party, but part of Donald's Dino Bash is like they have
It's yeah,
more like meet and greet characters.
right.
So that's always fun to see. I love that.
Yeah.
Uh,
What was yours?
My favorite is Divine, and not everyone might know that that's her name. But when you are walking into Animal Kingdom and you're walking through the Oasis trails, which are those little pathways that the winding path to get to the front of the park, you might pass by a character performer who's got on this like stilt situation, and she moves in like ways that you might say are like I don't know, how would you describe her vibe? Enigmatic. She's like strange to look at, I would say.
Yeah, she's like a living tree.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of the what they're going for.
She's like a creeping vine.
Yeah.
You know? And that's really cool. You take pictures with her, basically is her function, but she's really like putting on like a nature based performance with her body movements and stuff. And I think she's a really cool first thing to see when you walk into the park. And she's also like, in my opinion, very weird. So I like seeing that.
Okay. I feel like the way you described it made it sound weirder than I thought it was.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like she doesn't really like.
You're giving me horror movie vibes.
I don't think it's more horror movie. I just think she's kind of a little bit less like warm and fuzzy than most
Sure.
Disney characters
Yeah,
are. So
yeah.
if I were a kid, I would maybe find her to be a little bit unapproachable.
Sure, she
But,
looks like a tree.
Yeah, but sometimes that's how nature is. I like her in the parks for her strange, maybe slightly threatening
Okay.
tone
Yeah.
in her performance. I like it a lot.
That's hilarious.
Is there anything else that you had other than the
For
dance
the street
party?
entertainment, I mean, I could name a bunch more. But
My only other thing that I love walking around is Kevin. Kevin the big bird.
yeah,
That's I mean.
I put that later on. You have a question called characters walking around.
Oh, you put Kevin?
I did.
I also put Kevin. We'll talk about her later then. For now, then, let's talk about our stage show selection. What's must-do magic when it comes to stage shows or films?
I picked Nemo.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm glad. I picked Festival of the Lion King.
I figured.
So yeah,
Yeah, we got 'em
everyone knows
covered.
I love Festival of the Lion King. I can go first on this one if you want.
Yeah.
Festival of the Lion King is located in the Africa section of the park, in the Harambe Theater. It is like a tribal tribute to the story and music of the Lion King, but it's presented as like a pageant that takes place as like a community performance. And it is a really, in my opinion, a beautiful experience. It combines a lot of different artistic disciplines like aerial artistry, acrobatics, fire throwing, and like fire swallowing, dance, singing. It's like a full spectacular, but
Yeah.
it's all done in like the aesthetic of an African village celebration, and it also features the characters from The Lion King, both in like mascot form. Timon is there as like a walk around character, and there's also floats in corners of the theater that represent or of depicting Simba, Pumbaa, and then some animal friends like the giraffe and wasn't the other one an elephant maybe? But they are like leftover floats from a parade that they basically incorporated to be part of this show, which is really cool. But I love the way that it all comes together to tell the story.
Yeah. I love it too. I love the tumble monkeys. It's a fun time. For that, the Lion King show feels a little bit more like audience participation and like bleachers and screaming and stuff like that. The Nemo show is a little bit more like, I feel like going to see a Broadway show kind of. You're sitting in chairs. There's not a lot of like them asking you to scream or anything like that.
No.
The Nemo show has kind of like how they do it on Broadway, where they've got the puppets, but you also see the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Am I describing this correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And they're like in a complementary outfit, so you can look at one or the other. I used to feel bad. I used to tell Jake that I felt like I was doing the show wrong because I was looking at the actor, not the puppet. But he says you can do either, and that's either is acceptable.
Well, yeah, I think they in any of these, especially theme park shows, they're designing the show with the thought in mind that people are gonna let their eyes wander, and everyone knows that the audience is like curious. They want to
Yeah.
they want to observe all the mechanics and stuff. So I think that's part of the show to great like artistic effect in this version, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a good show, like a kind of like a retelling, but focusing on specific parts. It's shorter now. Nice air conditioning. I like the space that it's in.
Yes.
And it's just a good show. It's just a good show.
Yeah, Finding Nemo is a great show. I love the Big Blue World song. Everybody loves that song. Go with the Flow. Lots of great songs in there. From the songwriting team that brought you Frozen with their first Disney gig was this musical. All right. Let's talk about character experiences now. We kind of gave this one away already, so no need. We both put Kevin for this, yes?
Did you have two different questions?
Huh?
I have one question that says character experience and one that says characters walking around.
Oh.
But I don't know if I only have that because I wrote something in at some point.
I only have one.
Okay.
But that's okay. If you've got something different, then
no, I just, yeah. Well, should we talk about Kevin first?
Let's talk about Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Kevin is a character from Disney's Up. Very cute. I like the incorporation of Up into Animal Kingdom.
I do too.
As wilderness explorers, I just feel like that it all goes hand in hand. And my favorite byproduct of that is the introduction of Kevin as a walk-around character. Kevin's a big bird, and
right. She's so tall.
She is like so tall.
Do you know how tall?
Nope.
Okay, well you can definitely see her coming.
Yeah. She like stands up high above the crowd.
Yeah.
And this is like an interactive character who can like flap her wings, make noises, stomp on the ground, does all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah. I've seen even more on Instagram in real life than I have of this character interacting with the audience in like funny, hilarious ways.
Right.
This is walk around characters are like some of my favorite kinds of magic at the Disney parks because I never want to wait in line for a character.
Yes.
And I never want to have a one-on-one interaction with a character, to be completely honest with you. But like getting to experience and like encounter the character in like an organic kind of way, to me makes it a much more fun, low stress experience.
Yeah, I agree. I like that this is a character that you can see from so far away, that gets you excited, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I do love the interactions that she's able to have with whomever. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it. Yeah. I want to take this moment to talk about our former best walking around character, which was Lucky the dinosaur. Lucky was the first free roaming animatronic.
Yep.
In everywhere, right? And that was at Animal Kingdom back in the day. I remember this from like 2006-ish era.
Yes.
I
have a picture somewhere in the world of me with Lucky.
I bet I do too.
Yeah.
And that was just a really cool thing. Then they started shipping him around, and I think he's in a museum now.
Yeah. I believe that's correct. Perhaps the archives.
Very cool for Animal Kingdom to get the first of this. Well, we haven't gotten anything since.
Yeah, and Dinoland USA of all places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since I thought this was two separate things, walking around and a character experience you had to go to, I did mention that if you're going to go wait in line for a character experience, the Mickey and Minnie one is pretty good.
Okay.
They're in cute
safari.
Wilderness. Yeah, safari outfits.
Yeah.
And it's inside, which is a huge bonus.
Good for them and you.
Yes, there's the PhotoPass people that and the cast members that are working to make this a good character experience do a great job.
Yeah.
So it's nice. If you're gonna do one, that's probably it. I liked Launchpad. I put Launchpad too.
Yeah, he's cool with his jacket.
Yeah, I've
He's
also
so
seen
cool.
Baloo randomly.
Mhm.
In the so this might be the best park for this kind of stuff, like walking around random characters.
Yes, they don't always deal with the massive crowds that some of the other parks do all the time. So maybe
Yeah,
that's the reason. But
maybe.
I really do appreciate them taking the time to incorporate that into the experience because
Yeah,
that's some classic Disney magic right there.
right. I haven't seen Baloo in any other location other than Animal Kingdom, and I think that
Yeah,
he fits well there.
totally.
And Launchpad, same.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely. That Dino dance party is cool.
Yeah.
Places to relax is the next on the list.
Hmm.
I picked something we've already spoken about, which is Finding Nemo.
Oh, that's funny. I just put a show. Any show. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, either show. Go
yeah,
on.
that'll work. I think Finding Nemo is even more comfortable because of the seats.
Agreed.
It used to be ultimate comfort because it was long
Yes.
and
And you
air
could take a nap if
conditioned.
you wanted.
Yes, if maybe sit in the back if you're gonna do that. Not to be rude to the performers,
Yeah.
but they're used to it, so it's not that big a deal.
Well,
Um,
I don't think anybody's intending. I mean, yeah, okay, sorry.
no,
Now I feel bad.
no, don't feel bad. It's kids. They know people fall asleep.
Yeah.
And moms. It's not just the kids; it's also the moms and
Yeah.
the parents. But Finding Nemo is still a good place to relax. I feel like that theater is very calming because it's like water themed,
Yeah.
so you already get the like
Yeah,
instant calm
exactly.
effect
I
of being
totally
underwater.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, we put the same thing. Cool.
All right. I love this question. Do you have a must-do restroom in Animal Kingdom?
I put Pandora.
Me too.
Yeah, theirs are the newest, cleanest, biggest.
Yeah, put the P in Pandora.
Oh my god.
Was that too blue for the
Mm,
Neverland Navigation
maybe.
radio podcast? The Pandora restrooms are new and clean, and that's honestly just some of our proclivities toward restrooms here
Yep.
in Walt Disney World. So no wonder. But honestly, I think Animal Kingdom might be the best park for restrooms because
Yeah.
it's kind of rare to have a bad restroom experience
I
here.
agree. Yeah.
That's nice. All right. I put for a must-do shopping destination. I really recommend people check out the shopping in and around the Africa section of the park.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I love this because it feels a little bit more unique than the typical Disney
It
dining
definitely is.
experience. You can browse from what they call handmade artisan items over there, like instruments, wood carvings of animals, tapestries, flags. There's all kinds of stuff in the Africa gift shops. They're very cool. You can maybe take home a little bit more of a unique, one of a kind souvenir, and it will really remind you not only of the park, but the specific place in the park where you got it, which I think is great to have something that like flashes you back to the moment that you picked it up. I think that's really cool, and I like hearing everyone make the music with the instruments in here. I just think it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I put Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures
Oh,
because I love the whole like look of that, like
Mhm.
craziness. That is if you exit Dinosaur the ride, you're taken through the Dino Institute gift shop. That's not what I'm talking about. Then you're put out on a path and you go through this gift shop.
Mhm.
That's
Double
the one
gift
I'm
shop.
yeah, double gift. That's the only one I can think of that's like that too.
Yeah.
And it's just like a fun, crazy themed like there's stuff everywhere. There's a train going around the top of it. It's just
Yes.
I don't know.
It actually
I like
makes
its energy.
me too. It actually makes me nostalgic to be in there. Not just because I've been visiting it since I was a kid,
Yeah.
but also because I don't know, the train like running around on top and the decorations of just toys being everywhere, all over the ceiling, all over the shelves.
Yeah.
It brings me back to a like hobby/toy store
Yes.
thing from the 80s and 90s.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That isn't I don't think is really a thing anymore, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's like the only place you can experience that energy
Yeah.
still kind of for me.
Right.
So I really like it in there too.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that one. That's a really good good call.
Thanks.
What's your underrated Animal Kingdom must do?
I put Dinosaur.
Me too. Wow, we really did have like the same. Like, this is the first one of these where I think we're like really like
Yeah.
everything is almost the same. Dinosaur, though, I think like hands down, most people would say
Yeah, because
It's
they're
the
getting rid of
underrated.
it. So obviously it's underrated.
right. Yeah.
Also, there's not usually a line.
Yeah, that is nice and helpful. It's
Hmm.
usually like 20 and below, which we love. Dinosaur is like still a good attraction. It's like a thrilling experience. It is in a one of those, hey, what do you call that? Is it that's trackless ride system, isn't it?
I don't know.
But
I
it's
don't.
a
I didn't think so, but now that you mention it, it might be.
yeah, I don't feel like
I
there
don't
is a track.
think so.
Motion guided
Don't know.
system. I don't know what the, but you know what it is? It's that car that has like the hydraulic technology in the car as well, so that
Yes.
it can like move you different directions than the directions the tires are taking the car, which is kind of cool. It gives you like a more a wider range of motion per scene that makes it a little bit more interesting to experience, kind of like that. I also think it has a cool story and lots of animatronics. Unfortunately, they're kind of neglected at this point,
They
so
are.
they've got a hit or miss kind of track record now with them being on and fully functional. But it's a ride with a complete story. It's a dark ride. It's scary for some kids, but it's fun for most adults.
Yeah. It's not trackless, but the fact that it's got the hydraulics in the car give that a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
So
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. On a track.
yeah.
All right.
Yep. I also did same. Okay, so where are we now? Walkthrough experience.
Walkthrough
What did you
experiences.
put?
There's a lot to choose from at Animal Kingdom, to be honest, just
Uh-huh.
because they have a lot of like trails and things.
Right.
My favorite is the Maharaja Jungle Trek.
Me too.
Oh, forget about it. Would you like to talk about why?
Well, I just like the tigers. There's not much to my why.
Okay, yeah, I think they are like it's stunning to see the beauty of their markings and stuff up
Hmm.
close. They are like they floor you with their like majesty. They're beautiful. I also love this area because of the theming. There's so much detail going on and everything you're looking at. There's also like a bridge section that's kind of my favorite where you walk underneath these dilapidated prayer flags, and it like the feeling of it is like transportive. You feel far away from civilization in those moments. And then you go and you see these beautiful tiger exhibits, and they're themed to be in the ruins of like a temple or
Yeah.
something with these huge columns and arches.
Sometimes they're playing around with a ball.
Yeah, sometimes it's very Disney movie animal vibes
Yeah.
going on over there. But like I just love all the detail and the paint and the sculpture that goes into this exhibit. Unfortunately, it does conclude with an aviary, which you can count both Morgan and I out of 100% completely.
Fortunately for all of us, you don't have to go in. It's like an optional aviary.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Birds are scary.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in there with the tigers than with the birds. Just kidding. But yeah, that's just not our thing.
Not our thing.
But the actual like space and the actual tigers,
Yeah.
that's our thing. We love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next thing was transportation option, way to get to and from the park. And I didn't even write anything for this because the only option is the bus
I wrote
or your personal car.
boo.
I wrote haha, actually.
It's actually very sad. I think I don't know how they would do this, but I think you should be able to take a little Jeep or take a little boat ride
Boat. I think
into
that,
Animal
yeah.
Kingdom. Either
Yeah.
would be fine.
If they can get a boat going, I think that might help attendance.
Yeah, or if they want to introduce like a safari experience where you get to like ride around the Serengeti at Animal Kingdom Lodge and it takes you over to Animal Kingdom,
Oof, that sounds like.
I would pay
It would-
some money.
Would you?
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds great.
All right.
I would do Boma, maybe do that. That sounds really nice. But obviously, that's not something you would do all the time. But
Right.
I would love for them to like expand transportation here in general.
Yes, I agree.
But something that Animal Kingdom has plenty of is magic. And one of my favorite questions on this list is there a little touch of magic that you recommend people must experience when they're in the Animal Kingdom theme park?
You want me to go?
Sure.
I wrote the string lights because I love the string lights everywhere.
Especially around Expedition Everest?
Yes, yeah, and the flags back there. I really love the authenticity of that whole vibe they've got going back there.
Yeah, it is really magical.
What did you put?
I put Tree of Life Awakenings, which are the projections that appear periodically on the surface of the Tree of Life. The only reason I put this is not because I stand and watch these, because I really don't, But I like seeing them use the projection technology to play with visuals on the icons of the park. I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
And I think that I like the fact that most of the time what they're projecting onto the Tree of Life is like nature scenes.
Right.
I
It's
think,
not like IP. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's cool. I didn't like it when they put that Avatar thing on there. I thought that was like cheesy in a promotional way.
This experience that he's talking about hopefully is not like still around, but
No.
it was kind of like watching a commercial for Avatar The Way of Water, and it was right before, right when that movie came out. So
Yeah.
we felt a little like we went and waited to watch it, and then we're like, oh wow, that was a commercial.
That's using the Tree of Life for evil. I like it when they use
Yeah.
it for good, like when they
Yeah.
just put like lemurs on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, heck
Yeah,
yeah,
that was unfortunate.
that's what God
So-
would have wanted.
there could be something to be said about all of the like sculptures or etchings in the Tree of Life itself as well.
That's a really, really good point.
You
my
could spend
gosh.
all day looking at all of these
Yeah.
and not get to see them all.
We have done a little. My friend Tori and I have done a little walking tour of the one that we did ourselves of the Discovery Island trails, and just going around and walking around the entire area around the Tree of Life and getting to see all of the different animals in it. Sometimes you wonder how it's even possible to plan something so intricate and beautiful.
Agreed.
And honestly, I cannot wait for the Zootopia show to go into the theater underneath the Tree of Life.
Me too.
Because I want once again to be excited to walk through the queue of that attraction and be up close to some of the gorgeous carvings in the tree, because that is actually my favorite part of that experience, is waiting to go into the pre-show holding area, because you get really up close to some of those carvings in the tree.
Yes, I know. And I went back there and did that ride, the Bugs Life ride once and then never again. So yeah, it would be nice to get to go back there.
Yeah, you might be really
For something you're excited about, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, it looks like it's scheduled to debut either in 2024 or 2025. I'm guessing 2025 at this point.
Yeah, anytime, I guess. Yeah, that I'm excited for that.
I guess it's cool that they could be working on it now and we wouldn't even know because the construction would be inside the tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough to be a bug still running, or is that down?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Well, then, yeah, they're probably installing it right now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Very cool. Hey, I know this is tough competition, but do you have a must-do thrill attraction here? I can go first.
Go ahead.
I chose Expedition Everest.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
I don't actually consider Flight of Passage a thrill ride, do you?
I do not consider Flight of Passage a thrill attraction. I might consider Cali River up as a thrill attraction, because it has that waterfall drop.
I did not forget that existed until you just said it.
Oh no! I do.
We don't go on that because
No, we don't usually go wet.
Yeah, you have to be committed to getting soaked. Okay,
It's true. It's true.
sorry. Okay, so we both picked Everest. Go on.
Yeah, Expedition Everest is a roller coaster, and it's got a backwards launch, which is pretty cool. First Disney coaster with a backwards launch. It's got a highly themed story that most people have no idea is going on. Walk right by it, and it's got a.
But we
really...
did an episode on it.
Oh yeah, go back and listen to the Animal Kingdom episode because.
No, there was an Everest specific episode, right?
Yes, but wasn't that when we were both doing a story?
Yes,
and you
you're
did
right.
one and I did another.
Yes.
So I think it's called like Animal Kingdom.
Okay,
one thing
that
or
makes
another.
sense. Okay.
But yes, Morgan did a whole like deep dive into the backstory of Expedition Everest, and it kind of blew my mind because there were details in it I'd never even heard before.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Very interesting.
Totally. But story of the ride aside, it's a thrilling experience as well. I would love it if the Yeti worked. The Yeti doesn't work, but he's beloved by all in his current form, the Disco Yeti. So we have to pay our respects to him despite the fact that he's retired from full action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not trying to kill us.
What do you love about Everest the most?
I know we're going to be talking about nostalgic later. This is not my nostalgic ride, although it kind of could be.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's nostalgic. It was my favorite roller coaster in all of the parks up until Guardians opened.
Yeah.
I like the thrill of it. I like the backwards the going down the mountain.
That is fun.
I love the feel of it. In addition to the backstory, and yeah,
Yeah.
I just really like it as a roller coaster.
Yeah, Expedition Everest was a great thrill attraction. We definitely recommend it. Do you have a slow moving attraction that you would recommend?
I put Navi River Journey.
Really? Navi River Journey is must do magic. What do you think puts it in that category?
So this is not something that we do every time we go. We have we even done this together? We don't do this ride much.
No.
The lines are usually insane. If you're coming and you haven't been on it yet, I would say it's worth it to go if you've got Genie Plus and you can get a fast pass. I wouldn't wait hours for it, but I think that it's a beautiful ride. I think the issue that people have with it are that their expectations were too high, maybe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is a slow moving boat ride through the Navi River. So you see there's a combination of screens and actual sets, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's really beautiful. I really like the how above you there are lily pad type things, and you see animals jumping. I really, really love the animatronic, which I'm sure be talking about later when we get to what's the must do animatronic. But yeah, I wouldn't wait for hours for it.
No.
But if you've got Genie Plus and you haven't been on it yet, I think it's must do.
Yeah. I like going on this attraction with people and telling them that there's a huge drop at the end.
Okay.
That's my fun. For
so you don't like this attraction?
No, it's not that I don't like this attraction. I do like this attraction. I don't know that it's my first of all, I think Animal Kingdom needed a dark ride. So yeah. I was glad it exists. It doesn't really have it doesn't have the story that I hope that Disney rides have sometimes. It's it doesn't really have a story very much other than you're coasting down the river.
And it doesn't help for us that we're not super fans of the Avatar franchise.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We haven't watched the movies over and over.
But I do think that helped me see the land a little bit more objectively when I got to experience it the first time, because I didn't really care that much about Avatar.
Yeah.
So I kind of got to see it for what it is a little bit. And I do have to say that I really enjoy. This is also, if the line were low, I would say this is a good place to relax in the park.
I would too. Yeah, if this was boat rides were in Epcot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a 10-15 minute wait for sure.
Yeah.
And we would go on it every time. The issue is that the line for this is always wild.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for something else new and shiny to open in Animal Kingdom at some point, so that people can stop doing this so much, because I think this is the first thing that will go. I think people will still want to do Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
Because it's landmark. It's a landmark attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one, I feel like it'll be easier for people to start skipping at some point, which will be great for me, because then I'm going to ride it like nobody's business.
Yeah.
All right.
We like a slow-moving boat ride in general.
We do.
We like...
That's one of my favorite.
Honestly, probably what we go on the most.
Yeah, that's true.
We frequent the land.
We do frequent living with the land.
Yeah, even Three Caballeros. I feel like we do a lot of slow moving boat rides.
I love a slow moving boat ride. They're some of my favorite rides. Pirates, Frozen, so many to choose from. Kilimanjaro Safari is what I put. I know this is not always the slowest moving, but you probably went faster in your car on the way to Animal Kingdom.
Oh, yeah,
so we got to be realistic here. Kilimanjaro Safari is the signature attraction of this park, I would say. A huge chunk of Animal Kingdom's area is this attraction, because they basically have created an entire wildlife reserve that you then get to go on a little adventure through and see all of the animals and participate in the storyline that they're setting up for, involving poachers and animal conservation. Kind of. They've erased some of the story elements of that, but they still give it to you in the form of the pre-show video and the narration from the driver of your safari vehicle. So that's kind of cool. The real attraction here is the animals. This is like a
Hmm.
cool attraction to exist in the scope of Disney rides because Walt Disney was like a wilderness enthusiast, an animal conservation enthusiast. A huge part of his life was those true life adventures that he did for
He wanted
ABC.
real animals in the Jungle Cruise, in case you didn't
Yes.
know.
Right. Yeah. Walt Disney definitely he considered using real animals in a lot of stuff. The Jungle Cruise, the Tropical Serenade, which became the Enchanted Tiki Room. But obviously they decided it was more practical for, animatronic replacements.
Hmm.
But so it's cool that Animal Kingdom ended up realizing that kind of fantasy at some point by basically creating a safari in the Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
which is really cool. I would recommend. I think it's like integral to the Animal Kingdom experience to ride this ride.
And for those reasons, I think that this ride is kind of a love letter to Walt, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is really really nice. I had never thought about it that way as a kid because who's putting those pieces
No,
together?
no.
But now when I ride it, it does make me smile to think that.
And now that you're an adult and you know he wanted live animals here, he wanted them there, and he wasn't really getting it because it just wasn't working out. Yeah, it just wasn't logical.
Yeah,
Yeah, but now they've made it logical, and it's just nice. It
because
kind of
the
was
animals
heartwarming
would be like sleeping or like shy or all kinds of
or
things.
dangerous. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that's great.
yeah,
And it's re-rideable because you never know what you'll see.
yes, totally. And I think that the difference between a day, not that there's many night options anymore, but a day and a night one can be very different too.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And depending on your driver, but it's kind of like got a little bit of the Jungle Cruise skipper effect where if your driver is funny, outgoing, whatever, like that could
Yeah.
make it a better experience
I
too.
feel like there's also some like wildlife expertise disparity going on too, because if you've got a driver who's like really, I don't know, maybe a veteran driver or something,
Hmm.
they might know like exactly when to stop when they see certain activity because they know
Yeah,
that lion's about to roar or those elephants are about to play or
yeah,
they can like pick up on stuff like that,
yeah,
which I think is like really enhances your experience.
yeah.
Right by the Kilimanjaro Safari, I put as a kids attraction Rafiki's Planet Watch
Okay.
as my must-do kids attraction. Now, this attraction is actually probably enjoyable, maybe to just about anyone, and it's something that a lot of people overlook. So it might have been a good entrant for the underrated attraction
Yeah, for
category
sure.
here. But I'm putting kids attraction because there's like a petting zoo back there that I think the kids would really enjoy. The inside is like an animal recovery center. That's a cool place to like chill out as well.
Yeah.
And there's also a drawing and animation experience in there where they like teach you how to draw something like a Disney character. And I think that that's really cool for kids,
This is
families.
yeah, extra edutainment. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah, a little bit leaning on the education part of it.
I agree.
Yeah,
But if there's a park where that's going to happen, I definitely feel like it fits in. I mean, Epcot,
yeah.
but also, but also
But
Animal Kingdom
yeah, for
because
animals, yeah.
yeah, it's like zoology, the theme park.
Yeah, yeah. My kid friendly attraction I put was Kilimanjaro Safari. So yeah,
Yeah,
we're good.
no lap sitting. All right. Do you Morgan? What Animal a Kingdom attraction is must do nostalgia?
For me, it's dinosaur.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been around since forever.
Even if you didn't ride dinosaur as a kid, I feel like it
I
takes
did.
you. It takes you. No, me too.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if there's somebody, if you haven't ridden dinosaur before, I still feel like it takes you back to the 90s, the 90s,
Yeah,
2000s. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? It just does.
It just has the vibe. It just does.
I
Yeah.
feel like dinosaurs were big then, the Jurassic Park effect of it all.
Right.
But
True.
also like the actors in the pre-show take you back to that time.
Yeah.
And the vibe of like a large scale animatronics thrill ride just takes me there. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was yours too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Um,
mean, that's OG Animal Kingdom.
yes, Countdown to Extinction. I almost also put it for the queue. But I also almost put another one for the queue.
Okay.
But I ended up with Flight of
That's what
Passage.
I did.
Oh, okay. Did
I'm
we
surprised that you had other ones you were thinking about. To me, this was a clear winner.
Yes, I know that this is like really exciting because of, well, I'll let you get into it because I actually have a backup that I could talk about. Why did you pick Flight of Passage for Q?
I think they did a really good job of making it an interesting queue for most of it. So they've got like a full blown animatronic in there, which was exciting. There's things to look at all throughout. I had been when this attraction first opened was back in the free fast pass days, and I had only been doing it on fast passes.
Yeah,
And then at one point, I had heard so much about this queue that I was like, we're just gonna have to go stand in line.
yeah,
And we did, and it's a really good queue.
it is. Yeah, it's got multiple parts as well.
Yes.
Like when you first walk in, it's like a cave situation where
Yeah.
there are like cave drawings and cave runes and running water and stuff.
Hmm.
And then you get into the like biological research
That's the part I
portion
really
of
liked.
the queue, which is cool. It's got an animatronic in
It
it.
really connects you to the story,
It definitely puts you in Avatar.
especially I feel like for somebody that didn't care that much about the movie.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Helpful.
And then you move into like a rainforesty type of section of the queue as well. It's like and it's one of those simulated outdoor environments. I guess most of the queue is, but it's right before you get into the linking chambers. There's like a part that's meant to be kind of outdoors, and that's also where the bathroom is. It's cool that there's a bathroom in
That
this
yeah,
queue, a restroom.
thoughtful.
That's
Yeah.
nice. And then after that outside portion, you go into like a steel looking, like it's very industrial, and then you go into these like linking chamber things where you experience a pre-show that gets
Yeah.
you ready to ride the ride, and then you're into the simulators.
Yeah, I don't love the pre-show, but I love the queue.
I hate the pre-show.
I don't like it.
I think it's strange. I think the guests don't understand if it's
They
part of the
definitely
show or
don't
not.
understand it.
Yeah,
Every time there's somebody that doesn't understand it.
right.
Yeah.
So that's not great. But the actual like queue sets are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The other one that I wanted to talk about was Expedition Everest because the queue is so like amazingly thought out and engineered.
And the backstory, yeah.
Yes, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but I did want to just read a little bit of what Joe Rohde had to say about the queue, which is that it's difficult to tell much of a story on a ride like a roller coaster. It must be very simple and nonverbal, completely comprehensible as a pure experience, and that's the burden on the queue experience to set the stage.
Right?
Plus, we wanted to frame the story in a broader set of conservation stories. So the careful observer will see that Bob is an Australian and Norbu is a local, and there you get sociology. Also, Bob runs marketing in the front office, and Norbu runs the tracks. That's sociology. It's clear that they are blissfully ignoring any warnings about a Yeti. Commerce.
Yeah.
So I love what Joe Rohde has to say about this queue and the commentary that it's trying to make, and I love all of the details throughout and the story that it jams into itself. I think it's like ambitious and cool. I don't think everyone gets it, but I think they knew that was going to happen, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
They know. Yeah.
All right. But both amazing queues, I would say. Animal Kingdom's got some good queues going on.
Yeah.
So you didn't pick Flight of Passage for pre-show, huh?
No, I did not.
What did you go with?
Let's go get that dino.
Let's go get that dino.
You?
Let's go get that dino.
I figured.
Yeah, the dinosaur pre-show is iconic.
Oh my gosh, it's iconic.
Perhaps
We're going to
some
be
of-
watching it 20 years from now on YouTube. You know what I mean?
I should make it my ringtone now while it's still around. I don't know. There's just something about this that is so nostalgic. It totally sets the scene for the
Mhm.
ride that you're going to experience. It's nice and lighthearted. It's not scary for kids. Like, it does everything. It does everything.
Yeah, it's cute. It's just cute. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, of the like filmed, the pre-filmed pre-show attraction experiences, which in itself is a whole era.
Right.
This one definitely stands out to me.
Yes.
Now, animatronic is a pretty easy guess here,
Uh-huh.
because an Animal Kingdom attraction is home to one of the most advanced audio animatronics in the world. Is that the one that is the one I'm talking about and alluding to the one that you put?
Yes.
All right, then I think we both put the same one, which is the shaman.
You want me to say that at the same time? I
I
didn't
don't
even
know.
write down the name of it. I put Navi.
Yeah, there's only one in the ride,
Yeah.
so it's easy to tell. And according to the story, that's like the shaman of song, I think,
Sure.
that you reach at the end of the ride.
Okay.
Would you describe the appearance of this animatronic?
Oh, the appearance?
Yeah.
I think the thing that really stands out, I mean, this is a Navi person, but with
Yeah.
4 arms, am I right?
Yeah.
And so if you know what Navi look like, that's kind of going to give you the base of this. But
Tall, blue, alien-looking things. Caught
yeah,
everybody up. Sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
The fluidity of the movements is what really enchants me.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it was like a first of its kind.
Mhm.
So when I saw it the first time, my jaw was on the floor. You know what I mean?
It is the reason to ride that ride.
Yes.
You know, it's like, I know the ride, like I just said, it doesn't really have that much of a story.
Right.
But if the ride were to have like a climax in the story, it was definitely seeing the shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the huge 500-foot drop right after you see the shaman is also like, you know.
Right. You're being warned. That's what the music is.
Yeah, but do you listen? No. Commerce.
Yeah.
Whatever Joe Brody was saying. No, I'm just kidding. The shaman is like gorgeous. One of my favorite figures. It like the movements fit the vibe of the scene so well that you don't even
the song's even catchy, and oh my gosh.
I love that ride.
Yeah.
I love that song.
That part of the ride. Yes. See, we would go on this regularly if it weren't an hour long.
Yeah, that's what I said when I first wrote it. I said I can't wait for people to forget about this ride so that I can ride it all the time.
But it's been years.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I honestly thought by now.
I did too.
Yeah, we gotta wait until the next big thing opens. I really think.
Yeah.
That will help. But hey, that animatronic is awesome. I didn't put that one. I put the Yeti.
Oh, the Yeti that you complain about a lot.
Yeah, I think he's so impressive when he just sits there.
He's working it.
I put the Yeti because I love disco music.
You love the fluidity of his movements. Okay.
All right. Enough of the Yeti.
All right.
We love you, Yeti.
We do. There aren't that many animatronics in Animal Kingdom now that I think about it.
No.
I mean, the dinosaurs. I don't know.
I know.
They're not gonna get any favorites.
No, there were some
They're
that
fine.
were very impressive when they opened, but gosh, it's been a minute, huh?
Yeah.
If you could pick one land that you would must do, you must spend time exploring this land, what would you explore?
I really had a hard time with this one.
Animal Kingdom is hard with lands, I think.
Did you pick one?
I picked Africa.
Okay.
And the reason just was because I feel like it's got a little bit of everything. It's got live entertainment in the square of the town. It's got a stage show on one end. It's got immersive dining and immersive shopping.
Sure.
And it's got 2 attractions in the back of it.
Uh-huh.
So, if you're going to do something in Animal Kingdom,
if you're going to get stuck, you mean?
Yeah.
I put Pandora or Asia because I love the look of Asia. I love of course, that it has my favorite, one of my favorite rides. And then Pandora, I really like the details that they went into, especially if you ever get to go at night, when they took all this time and effort painting, what's it called? Bioluminescence all over everything, and now the flipping park isn't open late enough for anybody to see it.
It's true.
I digress. It's a beautiful, beautiful land. So I think I'm going to pick that one. Great quick serve, 2 rides, and really you could just walk around there and see the details. The details there are, if you really take the time and look, and this is true of pretty much anywhere in Disney, but there, especially newer places, it's just extra level.
Yeah.
The sounds that they're pumping in. The mist they pump in Pandora specifically, the bioluminescent paint, the plants that they put there to make you feel like you're on a different planet, the way that I don't remember what it's called, but they've got the floating mountains.
That's what people call them.
Well, they've got a specific name, I think, but
oh, cool.
From the movie, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. we don't speak
Navi. Kalima.
I'm glad you have the song memorized, though.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, I like the song too.
That's not a hit on iTunes? I love that attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that land. That attraction. Asia, the attraction. I love that land. And Pandora. Them both. Those are both great choices.
Mhm.
They both have that like rich level of detail, and that's all Joe Rohde. This is like a Joe Rohde tribute episode, huh?
Mhm.
Just because this park is
Animal
like his
Kingdom,
baby.
always,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Unless we're talking about just food,
Yeah.
which he had nothing to do with.
I don't know. He might be back there cooking. I don't know. Joe, you have to wear something to cover your earring.
How?
I don't know. It's fine. Overall attraction, must do overall attraction. Listen, in Animal Kingdom, I think like the true overall attraction is probably Kilimanjaro Safari. That like is the whole theme of the park, but I put Expedition Everest.
Okay.
I just think it not only is the vibe of the park, but it like creates a fantasy in the realm of that, and it's like so Disney to like have like a mysterious fictitious creature based on local lore elevated to the height of thrill and fantasy. Like that is so Disney.
Yeah.
I just think that's everything that Animal Kingdom is like about, along with like the way that they injected like man's relationship with nature as an element of the story.
Mhm.
I think that like really brings it home for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I put that, but I'm imagining that you may have put something else.
Well, I put Everest or Flight of Passage.
Okay.
I would not say Kilimanjaro. Like when I think of these best two things, I think of the time that we took Michael's cousin from Germany to Disney.
Mhm.
And like if somebody's coming from another country and has no ideas or expectations, what are you putting them on? We had literally 2 days to show him everything we wanted to show him in 4 parks.
That is impossible.
We did really, really well. But
so what did you do in
that's
Animal
my
Kingdom?
thing. Well, I did get him on Kilimanjaro, but that was like after we did Flight of Passage and Everest, which I think are the top 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Assuming you've got the time and or individual lightning lane or whatever.
Yeah.
Because on the wait for a Flight of Passage.
So if I'm someone who's never been, I'm from Germany too. I've never been to Walt Disney World. Talk to me about Flight of Passage. What is that?
It really. So it's a flight simulator where you're riding on a banshee. I mean, he knew the movie Avatar, so that was helpful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. To anybody that knows Disney well enough to know what Soarin' is, I always relate it to Soarin', but say that it's better because it just is.
Because it's a flight simulator attraction.
Yeah, the fact that you're riding on a banshee and you can feel him breathing is very impressive to me.
That is cool.
I like the views that you get in this simulator of all the different like areas of Pandora. So,
yeah, it's like a high-tech adventure through the world of Avatar.
Yeah.
Which is like, even if you don't care about Avatar, the like scenic
it's gorgeous
portion of the ride is like beautiful.
Beautiful.
And the actual experience is pretty thrilling.
I think it's thrilling too. Yeah.
So it's a cool combination of things.
So for me, those two rides are the most exciting and technologically advanced. More so than like Kilimanjaro safaris. And actually Kilimanjaro safaris can take a really long time.
Yeah.
It's if there's an animal gets stuck in front of you.
Yeah. It does have those hold up type things. But yeah, if you're doing Expedition Everest and you're doing Flight of Passage, you're getting, I feel like, maybe a good feel of the old and new of the theme parks.
And I think those are so unique, where Kilimanjaro isn't as unique as...
I love getting really wrapped up in the story, and I feel like Flight of Passage and Everest both are really good at that too.
Yes.
Getting like really...
it's got the Disney storytelling aspect, yeah.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. So hey, those are the things that we believe are must-do magic all throughout all 4 of the Walt Disney World theme parks.
Yeah.
We've done it. This has been so fun.
Yes.
It's like, in my mind, this is kind of like taking like a walking tour of the parks a little bit.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, stop there, get a snack.
Yeah.
Oh, stop there, go to the bathroom.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I think these are like a really fun way to do this. The great thing about them is that in just a couple years' time, I feel that we can do this all over again.
Oh yeah, things will
with
change.
New snacks and new attractions, and I feel like some of these parks are very different than they were even a couple years ago. And that's the cool thing about the Disney parks. But for now, if you've enjoyed the episode, thank you so much for sticking with us to the end. And
Yep.
if you want even more of us, then you can check us out on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at Neverland Navco, where we post a wide array of Disney fun from shopping, dining, history, trivia, and experiences in and around the Walt Disney World theme parks. So go check us out, follow us, and leave us a comment letting us know if you found us from this episode. That would be fun.
That would be fun. We also have an Etsy shop called Neverland Navigation where you can get trip t-shirts or dish towels with Disney stuff on them. It's mostly custom. Yeah. So if you send me a message on Etsy and say, hey, my favorite ride is Dinosaur.
Kali River Rapids.
Yeah, Kali River Rapids. I will send you some options and we will go from there. That is also where you would get your free t-shirts from if you decide to let me help book your next vacation.
Yeah.
And to do that, just email me at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com and I will give you my contact information. We'll go from there.
Let's do this next adventure together. That would be fun. All right. Well, hey, until our next journey into the kingdom of animals, we'll see you on our next adventure. Goodbye.